It seems that Democrats are having all the fun these days. I know. I know it's supposed to be the Republicans that are crashing the hookup apps, the grinder meltdowns at the conservative conferences, the marriage and family values caucus getting busted at every rest stop. But the Democrats, apparently, we're having an orgy. An orgy of socialism. At least that's what John Fetterman told Fox News on Friday night, sitting across from Jesse Waters there with his Carhartts on, with a straight face. And look, if I would have known it was that kind of party, I would have dressed a little differently.
It's like a marriage of the Palestinian, the anti-ICE, the abolish ICE, and now turning it in to like an orgy of socialism here. And that's sad.
And so Benedict Fetterman, the senator from Pennsylvania, Dino, the Democrat in name only, the guy who looks like the bouncer at that one nightclub in the strip mall next to the bingo parlor, said live in prime time on Fox News, quote, "It's like a marriage of the Palestinian, the anti-ICE, the abolish ICE, and now turning it into like an orgy of socialism here." And now look, before we get into it, I want to be clear about my politics because I know that the comments are going to get spicy, and you know that I'm a former Republican, and a holdover from that time period is that, yeah, generally, I think less government is better government. I think a huge chunk of our federal apparatus at this point exists only to perpetuate itself. So I'm not coming at this from some expand the state forever angle. But what I am coming at it from is a return on investment, ROI. Because here's the thing that John Fetterman either doesn't understand or doesn't want to understand, because it seems that Fox News may pay better than Pennsylvania does, but that's a different story. Providing a safety net to keep your most vulnerable citizens from drowning is not socialism. It's just the basic foundational day one job of your government. It's the reason we have a government, to do for us together what we can't do alone. And there's a real conversation to be had. I'll have it all day about whether the current government is actually delivering any value for our tax dollars. Here's a test. It's a simple one. For the same money we just spent bombing Iran into the Strait of Hormuz traffic jam, would I rather use that money to have school lunches for every kid in America? Yep. Easy. Done. For the same amount of money that we're about to throw at Donald Trump's vanity ballroom, would I rather have paid maternity leave? Yes. Or expanded Medicaid? Yes, again. Or rural hospitals that aren't closing every other week? Yes, yes, and yes. And if I said any more yeses, Fetterman's orgy comment might have some legs here. But wanting your government to look after its own people isn't socialism. That's the government doing its damn job. And calling it socialism on Fox News is exactly the rhetorical trick John Fetterman has been running for 2 solid years now. He takes a position that like 80% of actual Americans agree with, slaps the name communist takeover on it, and does a hit piece on his own damn party in front of an audience that already hated that same party. It's the Joe Manchin playbook, now wearing a crappy hoodie and wrinkled cargo shorts. And just so we're clear here, when I talk about return on investment, where our government should look after its people, I want to be clear about healthcare. The United States spends the most per capita on healthcare in the world, the most of any developed country, not even close. Not second place, first place every single year. And what do we get? What's our return on that investment? According to the Commonwealth Fund's 2024 Mirror study, the gold standard cross-national health performance comparison study, the United States has the worst health outcomes of any high-income country. Last place out of 10. We pay the most, we get the worst. It's the worst return on investment. That's what I'm talking about. It's like ordering a $200 steak at a 5-star restaurant and instead getting served a boiled hot dog that's more green than that totally natural brownish pink, but with no bun, while your waiter charges you for valet parking even though you walked. That's what our government's doing to us. But of course, rest assured, someone is making out like a bandit. And sticking with the healthcare analogy here, According to the National Association of Insurance Commissioners 2024 health industry commentary, the health insurance industry posted record profits last year. Billions in net income, all while denying claims, jacking up your premiums, and watching all of your rural hospitals close. The premium credits under the Affordable Care Act expired this year because Republicans let them so that billionaires could get more tax breaks. 22 million Americans are about to see their health insurance get unaffordable. And the insurance executives are able to buy a second yacht now. So yeah, this is John Fetterman's so-called orgy of socialism. A real thirst trap here. Americans wanting health care that doesn't bankrupt them. Schools that feed their kids. Infrastructure that doesn't kill people. Roads, bridges, drinking water. That's our wild, radical orgy here. That's it. And John Fetterman wants us to be ashamed of ourselves for it. Meanwhile, just so you remember, it's the same John Fetterman who voted yes to advance Markwayne Mullin for Homeland Security, the same Fetterman who voted to support a U.S.-Israeli war on Iran. I mean, look, Broseph, Sir, Fetterman, I do not know what kind of orgy you're at, John, but it ain't a socialist one. It's probably a defense contractor one, and you're on floor cleaning duty. What this story is really about, what the Fettermans of the world don't want to talk about, is that the actual American conversation isn't capitalism versus socialism. It is my government making my life better or worse than it was last year? And right now, for most working people, the answer is worse. You know, the Cheeto Benito over there and the Republican answer to that question is to blame trans kids and immigrants. And meanwhile, I'd rather have a government that costs more and delivers more than a government that costs the same and delivers nothing but grift. I would rather pay an extra 2 cents on the dollar to have a kid in Texas not die of an asthma attack because his rural ER closed. It's basic human decency. And by the way, the algorithm, they are currently rewarding a lot of garbage, including, by the way, that exact Fetterman clip getting circulated by Fox News' own network of bots. So to fight that, I need you to like and share and drop a comment letting me know that if you are a return on investment government voter.
They called it closed, filed away, forgotten. But some truths don't stay buried. Time doesn't erase guilt. A reckoning is always just around the corner. A death in Arcadia. Justice has a long memory.